We have breaking news as this is a robbery for the New York Rangers as they've officially signed Adam Edstrom to a new contract extension, and Chris Drury's master plan for this upcoming season is slowly starting to take form. We're going to break down exactly what that plan is and why this contract is an absolute robbery for the New York Rangers in this episode of Rangers Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 77% of you who watch these videos are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening with the New York Rangers, this is the place to be for all your daily New York Rangers content. But Bret wasn't necessarily expecting this one to come this early. I guess a lot of moves are probably going to be coming down this week, but Adam Edstrom, the next domino to fall in Chris Drury's plan. Again, we're going to get into why this makes a lot of sense and why it's a great move for the Rangers. But initial thoughts, Bret. Adam Edstrom has officially re-signed with the New York Rangers. The official contract details is that it's a 2-year contract at the exact same number as Matt Rempe got last week. So again, you're creating some healthy competition with the fourth line. I really love this move. And not only that, you got a lot of the younger players on this team signed to under $1 million, which is something that we saw the Florida Panthers, which I'm sure we're going to touch on a lot in this video and obviously heading into the draft, because again, they are the team that just won the Stanley Cup. But that is something that they modeled their team after. So I think this is a great move. What are your thoughts on Adam Edstrom?
Yeah, my initial thoughts are the same as I had with Matt Rempe. This is a great move. It's great to have Adam Edstrom back. It doesn't do any harm, Darius. This is going to be it's not a net negative. It's a positive. It's great to have him back. And look, we were talking off air. Yesterday the weekend was a little dry. We had some Marco Rossi stuff come out, which I touched on, but we said, Monday is going to be the day. Elliot Friedman's going to drop his 32 Thoughts podcast, and the Rangers will certainly be in the news as they've been the entire offseason. And we had James Haggins come out that the Rangers were targeting him, which we'll have a video on later today. And that was great. That was something interesting to see, and I was excited about that, but I was expecting something else. And I was expecting maybe we re-sign someone or bring, maybe send out an offer sheet or something like that. But we were able to re-sign one of our own, which is absolutely great to solidify that fourth line, which is now known as an identity fourth line, because the Rangers have had trouble here. They've been in sort of an identity crisis this past season where we weren't too sure what style of hockey the Rangers were going to play. Were they going to be a fast team, a forechecking team, a team that could just, use their skill to overpower you? But the Rangers' fourth line is building that identity. And like you mentioned, the Florida Panthers, we talk about it because they are the standard, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. They are in our conference. And their third and fourth line get paid peanuts, quite frankly. There's a lot of six-figure contracts all over that third and fourth line. And if you could find a contract that's more than that, please put it in the comments down below. But there are a lot of unknown players and six-figure deals on that third and fourth line. And that's what the Rangers are trying to model their system after as well. And like you said off air, Darius, the biggest fourth line in hockey, I would say so. The Twin Towers with the 6'9" Rempe, the 6'8" Edstrom. We'll talk about some of his skill, stuff like that. But my initial reaction is just great to have him back. And I like what we're doing here.
Absolutely. And like, you kind of dove into there and I alluded to just a couple minutes ago, a lot of the contracts that the Rangers are signing are very similar to those of the Florida Panthers. And a lot of people would argue Brad Marchand made more, but after the trade, he wasn't six figures, right? Something that has been a trend for the Florida Panthers and how they find success with their lineup. So again, this creates to me a lot of healthy competition in training camp as well. A lot of these guys, the younger guys, are going to be making the exact same dollar amount, so they're all fighting for spots. I think this is a really good thing heading into next season. And to kind of dive into the meat of it again, as you can see here, $975,000, like you mentioned as well. This is the biggest fourth line in hockey now. Adam Edstrom is an absolute beast. We know what Matt Rempe brings. Sam Carrick up the middle. I love that line. They were the best line for the Rangers at certain points in January, and that's not hyperbole at all. Like, they literally were winning the Rangers games single-handedly, and maybe Shesterkin as well. But this is a really good fourth line and an identity line, kind of like you brought up. The Rangers have struggled, especially last season, with their identity, right? And this is something that, it's not just going to be about the fourth line, but now you know what you're going to get out of the fourth line, heading forward. And not only that, Adam Edstrom is a great penalty killer as well. He's a big body. He knows how to use his frame. He's not afraid to throw the body around, as you can see here. Edstrom's 94 hits were the fourth most amongst NHL rookies in 2024. 25, and he barely played. So, he missed some time due to injury as well at the end of the year, which is something that shouldn't linger into next season. There were reports that if they were somehow to make the playoffs, then he might have returned. So he should be good to go, heading into next season. But I love the contract. As you can see here, it's a 2-year contract, which is another thing Chris Drury is doing. So you get him, not just for next year coming, but you eat another year of their RFA status, which I think is great. Team control, after it as well, so you're not eating every single year. It just makes a ton of sense to me. And this is a quote. I wanted to read this out and get your thoughts on this, as well as Adam Edstrom and what he had to say on New York Rangers exit interview day, when everyone was kind of breaking up after the season. He said, "You see the game a whole lot different sitting up there in the press box than being on the ice. There's small things that I can see, that I know that I can do in my game, that I can improve. The D zone play and then the stuff in the O zone. I looked at Rempe and Carrick and that line a lot. I think Remps did a good job at the end of the season being a menace in front of the net, and that he did. And he was a lot better after his suspension. He was fantastic. But and getting pucks up to the D and those sorts of things. And that's kind of what the Florida Panthers, I wanted to bring this up because the Panthers do that a lot too, right? They kick it low to high to their defensemen. They get the shot. They create chaos in front. That's what fourth lines do. That's what good fourth lines do. They go in and get the puck and, create chaos. And I think that, just him talking about it and that he saw that and that they want to apply that to the game, I think is very exciting heading into next season.
Oh, it's very exciting. And he's talking about the O zone there, the D zone. I mean, this is a 3-zone type player. I mean, he is a all-around young player on the rise. And talking about that Rempe and Carrick line, he's just going to solidify that line and hopefully plays more games this year, because only played 51. And like you mentioned, fourth in all rookies in hits, but he was third on the Rangers in hits, which is really eye-opening, considered he only played 51 games. And Cooley is going to throw his body around out there, and I believe he was second on the Rangers in hits, so it'd be nice to get Will Cooley back as well, bringing back these physical players, these players that play aggressive, very aggressive on the forecheck. Mike Sullivan loves young, aggressive players that forecheck, and Adam Edstrom certainly fits that mold. And like I said, we've spoken about it on previous videos. There were some players on this team that quit, but we know Adam Edstrom was not one of them. Yeah. Will Cooley was not one of them. Rempe was not one of them. Sam Carrick was not one of them. It's the scrappy guys that did not quit on this team, because they have to fight tooth and nail for every penny that they get in this league, for every minute of ice time that they get in this league, and they take absolutely nothing for granted. And that's what I love about this fourth line, these twin towers that I can't wait to watch. Rempe, Edstrom, Carrick up the middle. And look, I'm just really excited about it, because this is a young kid with potential, and previous head coach Peter Laviolette loved this kid. He even compared him to a young Jordan Staal at center, a two-way type center. I know he was on that left wing because Sam Carrick was playing a lot up the middle, but a versatile forward. You could put him at center as well if Carrick needs some time off or whatever, if he gets injured. And like I said, Peter Laviolette, he's gone now, but he is a Stanley Cup champion as well. And when you're compared to Jordan Staal in any capacity, I mean, that's a pretty high praise there from head coach Peter Laviolette. But really happy about this move and looking forward to seeing what we do next.
Absolutely. And I think that that's a great comparison for a guy who's making under $1 million and going to play on your fourth line, right? And like you kind of alluded to, I'll flash it up here again. He did only play an average of 9 minutes a night, and towards the end of the year you could really see him putting it together. Like, he was feeling a lot more comfortable in terms of what he brought to the lineup and point production as well. He only had 9 points in 51 games, but there were times where you're like, okay, he is figuring it out, and it takes a minute to figure it out at the NHL level. Again, this is not a guy who is a surefire prospect or anything like that, but he's making his way slowly, and again, he's not even 25 yet, so there's a lot left, I think, that we haven't seen yet. And again, like AFP Analytics says here, he's still an RFA at the end of this deal. It's a great deal, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the lineup next year. And he also won the award for the best rookie last season in training camp, so that's something to keep an eye on too. He really surprised coming into last season. He was a name that a lot of people were like, I wonder what he's going to be able to do. Really surprised heading into last season, and I feel like he's going to take another big leap forward heading into this year's training camp. So it's going to be very exciting. I think it was a robbery of a deal. Fantastic signing. Let us know how you feel about Adam Edstrom in the comments. I feel like it's going to be positive. He's a fan favorite at this point, so I'm excited to see him play next season. Yeah, go ahead, Bret.
Yeah, I got one more final thought here on Adam Edstrom, Darius, which is, you spoke about how that fourth line was the best in January, and we can't forget that when he got injured for about 2.5 to 3.5 months there, the team struggled.
Yeah.
The team struggled when Adam Edstrom was out, so just great to have him back. Gonna tease something in a future video. We'll be talking about the big fish, but we've seen Chris Drury bring back Rempe. We've seen him bring back Edstrom. Probably gonna bring back Cooley here shortly. Now does he go big fish hunting, Darius? That's the question. Is it Gavrikov? You know, he's played his cards smart here, but does he risk handicapping this future, this franchise moving forward? We'll just have to wait and see, Darius.
We will see. And there is one move left to make. And I say one move because we all assume Keandre Miller is being traded at this point, but there is one RFA left that they have to get signed up for sure, and that is Will Cooley. So we'll see if that comes down in the next couple of days as well. I would imagine a Carson Soucy trade has to happen first, but we'll see what Chris Drury has up his sleeve. Let us know how you feel in the comments, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.